Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Power. This is the show where we celebrate all things women. I have with me Purity Kagwere, the Executive Director of Akili Dada.
When we started from this young woman's dream to see more women in leadership and more women coming from underprivileged backgrounds taking up spaces of leadership.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that is amazing. I mean, and I believe that is one area that requires a lot of focus, women in leadership.
We have a whole crop of Kenyans who just live on social media, and when say today they watch me on your show, they will say women have been over-empowered. First of all, there's no word like being over-empowered. You go to any slum within this city, you will see the people who are really pushing things, doing all manner of things to feed their families are women.
And maybe I'll ask you, given that we've had this crisis and we've seen somewhat the forgetting to carry along the men when we're doing our women empowerment, how can we bring them along?
Part of it is really having conversations, and I think these conversations start at the household level. Just to recognize that these things start really early. And for us to start changing that conversation, it has to be that I am conscious that if I'm bringing up a child, I'm bringing them to recognize that there's no difference between them, between being a boy and being a girl. I mean, there's a biological difference, but then our abilities, our intellect, the opportunities we have access to, we can change that.
We have very many issues, like you'd highlighted, that, are making our girls drop out of school. We have early marriages, female genital mutilation, sexual abuse, child sex trafficking, and gender-based labor division. Maybe you can share with us, based on your work with Akili Dada, which of these issues have stood out for you guys, and what sort of interactions have you had and experiences?
So we decided to approach all these problems using really education, mentorship, skills building, and leadership development. And these four things for us make sense because they are cross-cutting. If it's about, say, child trafficking, or say the gender division of labor, if you teach a girl just the basic thing about labor that is divided based on gender, they will know how to choose better. If you give this girl an education, you're already giving her a choice to choose differently.
Of the issues that we highlighted previously, which ones do you feel that have been overlooked in the country?
That's interesting because, I feel like as a society, sometimes it's what's going on, what's the biggest thing on the table at the moment. Like for now, I would say, I feel like, not to say education is the most important thing that you could be addressing, but I feel like it really addresses a lot of the things we'd highlighted earlier. Like when people have access to education, it not only educates the mind, it also educates the heart. And that informs, say, the sorts of even friends you end up having, or the kinds of opportunities you have. It informs a lot.
Purity, maybe you can tell us, where do you want to see Akili Dada in the next 10 years? You're done with the first phase of 10 years. So what do we expect to see, and what do you want to achieve in the next 10 years?
Yeah. Thank you. For me, it really is to see more of the young women who've been through this program in various leadership spaces across Africa. They are already doing it. We have young women doing fantastic things in this country and in other spaces across the world. But in 10 years, I think you can look back and say, because we gave this girl a scholarship when she was in Form 1, by the time they are done with school is at least 10 years of being in the program. So I think from now on we start seeing a lot of the fruits of what Akili Dada has been working on.
Now, Purity, what would you say to a younger version of you at 21?
Believe in yourself, girl. Yeah, I think I spent a lot of time thinking, things will fall in place. But now I recognize you can work for things to fall in place. You can set up things to fall in place.
Just
don't wait for them to land.
I've been your host, Linda Kruger. Keep it here, same time, same place.